Hello, I am Steve and welcome back to Book 2 of the Ielts. In Lesson 3 of Chapter 2, we're going to discuss how to describe objects. Everything that we can see around us can be described. In Part 2 of the speaking test, your interviewer may ask you to describe an object that you own or want to have. To give a clear description of this object, you need to choose the right words and follow an ideal structure. Following the steps that we're going to talk about in this lesson will enable you to give an accurate and coherent answer. In your introduction, mention the object that you're going to describe and then give a short answer of how you came into possession of the object. Whether you bought it, someone bought it for you, or you received it as a gift. Using the indirect object sentence structure is an effective way to talk about something you possess. Here are structures of indirect object. Not all verbs can be used in these structures, so here's a list of some words you can use. When talking about why you have the object, the correct grammar to use is the simple past plus when or while plus past continuous. Look at these examples. In this step, you might have to use a series of adjectives in describing the object's physical appearance. So knowing the correct order of adjectives in a sentence is a must. We don't usually use more than 3 adjectives in a row. Observe the order of the adjectives used in these examples. Your answer for step 2 will likely be long as you are describing the object in detail. Take a look at this example. To further describe the object, explain how it's used or what it's used for. Look at the following expressions. Use cohesive devices to link your description of an object. Here are some examples of these cohesive devices. The passive voice can also be used in this part to give variation to your sentence structure. To refresh your memory, the passive voice has the structure be plus past participle plus by plus agent. If you're talking about something you used or still use, you can talk about the first or last time you used it. The purpose of this part is to lengthen your answer. To help you start your sentence, try using these phrases. Of course, you need to add more details in this part. You can talk about your experience the first or last time you used the object. Take a look at this example. Evaluating an object is done to describe the object in more detail. It makes the answer more interesting and gives you a chance to show the range of your vocabulary. To evaluate objects, use the words that best fit the object you are describing. Here are some examples of words that you can use to evaluate objects. Cohesive devices are also used to link information when evaluating an object. Here are some phrases that can be useful in evaluating objects. Making comparisons is an effective strategy to evaluate. If you're talking about an object you had for a long time, compare it with the same object that is being used these days. If you're describing modern technology, then compare it with old technology similar to it. Your answer for this part should look like this. There must be a reason why you're talking about a specific object during the test. Since the object belongs to you or has a sentimental value to you, this is the part where you express its importance and your feelings toward it. You need to use a couple of adjectives to express your feelings. You can use some of these words to describe how you feel about the object you are describing. To express how the object makes you feel, you can use these expressions. To emphasize the importance of an object, the second conditional can be used. The second conditional is used to talk about the present or future situations that are impossible to happen. Using this can help you express what it would be like without this object. The modal verbs and negative auxiliary should be articulated loudly and with higher pitch, because without these words, the meaning of the sentence will change. The following are the structures for second conditional. The third conditional can be used to explain why an object is important. It is used to talk about things that did not happen in the past and things that might not have happened. Again, the auxiliary verbs and modals, affirmative or negative, are to be stressed because these words give meaning to the sentence. The structures for third conditional are the following. If you find the second and third conditionals difficult to use in your answer, you can use the present perfect tense to talk about the changes that happened recently. Things that happened in the past that are connected with the present or an experience. Here are some examples. There are 3 ways in giving your answer in this step. You can use second conditional, third conditional, or the present perfect tense. Study the structures and choose the one that can help you deliver a plausible answer. Aside from the modal and auxiliary verbs, important words in your answer should also receive stress. If all the steps are put together, the answer will look like this. These 5 steps are recommended in describing an object, but remember that the structure may change depending on what is being asked in your cue card. The important thing is to answer all the questions in the cue card, so study these steps and choose appropriate lexical resources and cohesive devices. That's the end of lesson 3. Thank you for listening and see you next time. Bye.